Uh, no, we've as of right now, the decision is that our future doesn't have kids in it. We recognize that could change, but I think lifestyle, environmental choices, and host of other factors. I think the answer is no. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, not much to add, is just more to emphasize that we recognize that our life right now isn't going to be our life forever. And so we are open to that decision changing. But as of right now, our decision is to not have children. So I know that I like to work a lot, and it's very easy for me to stay a little bit later at work. And I just felt like if I were to have a child, that wouldn't be fair to the child, if I was, prioritizing work so much. And then I think Joe will touch on this too, but as we've kind of changed around our habits to be more environmentally friendly, we recognize that having a child was a huge contribution to a lot of the environmental issues that we care about. And so we wanted to stay true to our commitment to the environment and pledge to keep our carbon contributions down. And we felt that not having a child was best.
Yeah, just to add to that, a lot of folks are making choices right now. They're either choosing to eat less meat or no meat at all. They're choosing electric vehicles. We've done a lot of those things, and one of those choices is, are we willing to sacrifice having kids? And it seems like a fairly easy decision for us right now to say that kids aren't our future, and what that means for population and sustainability is a part of that.
So I used to be on the birth control pill, and then I transitioned over to the IUD. We have used other non-hormonal contraceptive methods, such as condoms, to help us remain child-free. But we are open to other opportunities that may present, either as science advances or as other things come through. We didn't really have one solid conversation in the sense that we had dedicated time to say, hey, this is when we are going to talk about our future and whether or not we have children. In the beginning of our relationship, we kind of made some side comments because, we were a little unsure of how the other one felt. But as we started to hear those comments from each other more often, it just kind of became a natural conversation that we had. And we were both happy to know that both of us felt similarly about our lifestyles and our decisions to not have children. And so it was kind of just something that came along naturally.
And we've also had conversations just to say, hey, this is obviously a very important topic to be on the same page in a relationship, so that if either one of us ever feel like this decision is changing or we're reconsidering it, that it's important that we feel like we can come together and say honestly, like, hey, I'm reconsidering this, and then going from there, whatever that may lead. We haven't had to have any of that conversation because those are tough. But as of right now, it's just been kids don't seem to be a part of our future, and that's okay. Yeah, and of course, we're both 28, and at a certain point, age is definitely an even more important factor as we get older in terms of, do we want to have kids? Is this the decision that we've affirmed ourselves in? And then, of course, if that is true, which we do see being the case, that a vasectomy would be help me play a role in the responsibility of remaining child free, as well as just giving Grace and her body a break from the contraceptives that she's used to keep us from having any children.
So I am an incredibly open person, and I have a very strong core group of women that I surround myself with. And so as I was transitioning from the hormonal pill method to the IUD, I didn't necessarily speak with my close women friends in the sense that, okay, I want to use this to not be pregnant. It was more so, I wanted to get their opinions on how they felt with the IUD side effects. So in that sense, yes, I'm very open in talking about, yes, these are the contraceptives that I use. How have you guys used them? And, have they been helpful in your life? And so that was very easy. It really helped ease my worries about switching those contraceptive methods. And then I am also just fairly open in general, maybe not as much as I am with my core group of women, but I do feel like this is something that not a lot of people talk about, but it is an important topic. So I am very open with sharing some of those things with our friends about, different contraceptives that are out there if they don't like hormonal methods, or even just my experiences with certain ones.
And I can only speak from my perspective, but I have not had conversations with other male friends or family about, contraceptives. Maybe that needs to change, but I can't speak to say that I've experienced a conversation with others, whether it was brought up by me or somebody else. A little bit of a soft subject for our family. They're definitely aware of our current decision to not have kids. I think that they think that that's going to change very soon, or inevitably will. We can say confidently that there's, maybe not confidently because we recognize things change, but in this moment we feel very confident in that decision. So they definitely want grandkids, and nieces or nephews, and there are, Grace, you can talk about how big your family is and how much that pressure is.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of cousins and I'm very close with my family, and we're all around the age of our late 20s, where some are deciding to have children and some are getting into serious relationships. And it always becomes a hot topic where those that do have children really want us to experience the amazingness of parenthood and having a child. And it's not that we don't doubt that, it's just we don't want that for us. And we know that we have made that decision in our relationship, and it's really only our decision to make. And sure, people can have their opinions and share them with us, but it can get a little, as Joe mentioned before, it can get a little bit of a sore subject and people can kind of get upset. But we stay strong, and we are true to each other and true to ourselves. So I would say, to anyone who is deciding whether or not they want to have children, to really be honest with themselves and don't let anyone else, whether it's their partner, their friends, their parents, siblings, influence that decision, because at the end of the day, it is your body and your life, and you have complete control over that. But that's not to say that what one decision you make, let's say at a younger age, you get older, you can't change that decision. It's important to recognize that your needs and wants could change throughout your life. And that's where being honest with yourself comes into play again, where you need to be able to recognize what you want.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I just think about your future, envision your future, and our kids a part of that. And so when I think of mine and Grace's future, kids aren't a part of that. It's traveling around, it's backpacking, it's experiencing the world. And not to say you can't do that with kids, but it's a lot easier to do those things without. And as I envision those things, there's no kids a part of that. So that's what feels true to myself, and ourselves in that decision.